technology. One is getting the technology users to remember people. So I'm in a business where I interact with people every day. So my technology is old school, just want to shake your hand, I just want to smile at you. But how do I bring the tech space into the world to where we can get somebody interested in a need of just an everyday person? So for me, that's a challenge of how do I use my personal influence, how do I leverage that to bring awareness to your everyday person? So nobody will really care or want to invest in here to hear our struggles or to see our struggles. So that's the dilemma or the problem that I face in the nonprofit sector, technology.
I appreciate your question, and that's actually what motivated me to start Impact Media. It's really important. Unfortunately, African Americans, when we look at media and entertainment, we're really looking at it as just an entertainment vehicle as a community, and not really realizing that what we're watching is they don't call it programming for nothing. So we're being programmed by what we're taking in. And what we're watching becomes our thoughts, it becomes our words, it becomes our actions, it becomes our behavior, and ultimately our character. So we have to be very careful what we feed ourselves. And that is the community outreach and awareness arm of Impact Media, because it's extremely important, and most of us just don't get that part. And so it's really critical that, there's been more emphasis focusing on young people, but adults as well. How many of you have seen some of your friends acting like some of the characters you see on television that didn't used to act that way? I know I have. But it's really important, as we move forward. And unfortunately, some of the negative statistics that we're seeing are not true. And we have a campaign, a rebranding of the African American community. That's something that's really needed. So, I am not a statistic. We are so much more than that. But if we continue to take in what they're telling us about ourselves and believing it, and it's causing more isolation, everybody's saying, I'm just going to focus on being mine because it's just overwhelming. But that's exactly, we have to do the exact opposite. We have to come together, we have to work together. Diversity is a team sport, economics is a team sport, and we all need to come together in order to advance our community.
So I'm going to demoderate for like 2 seconds because this is what I'm passionate about. So I think the point you bring up is very valid. And what you have to recognize at the end of the day is technology is a tool. That's literally all it is, right? It's like a screwdriver. You can build something from IKEA, you can stab somebody in the thigh, whatever one you want to do, right? But the reality is, right, that the thing about technology is that it's going to innovate regardless. And the question is whether we're going to be involved in that innovation or not, right? And that's the decision we have to make. When you talk about what decisions were being made, we have to get involved so that we can be a part of those decisions and move those decisions. I'm going to use a line I heard Reverend Jackson say one time, is that it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, right? So, ever since I heard him make that statement, I've been jacking it for like 6 months. Because we can't help drive and shape it if we're not in the playing field, and that's what tonight's about. We had a question over here. I think we got time for like 2 more. Oh, well, we'll do, all right, keep your hands up. We'll do those 4. We'll get them quickly, expedition for you out there.
So my name is Yvette Jones-Johnson. I started an organization called Urban Possibilities, and we are building storytellers in the Skid Row community. And we're using story not only to help them educate people, so that it's not just them, but they see how we're all connected, but also to inspire people, because the people in our program are people who will overcome. So my question is not that sophisticated, it's really how do we get our stories, connect to content providers so we can reach a wider audience. Because I am so immersed in churning out the stories and helping them to use story to change their lives, that we need a shortcut or somewhere, some advice, so that we can get these brilliant stories that we have out to a wider audience.
I think one solution that some of us content providers, content producers do is that we find platforms that have larger audiences. So sometimes your content, might be something that a platform like a Global Grind might be interested in, that already has a certain amount of viewers. So you're not starting from point zero to say, oh, I have this great content, I need to get people to watch it. But if you have a platform like Local Grind or Rolling Out, or one of these urban platforms that has viewership, you go pitch it to them and say, hey, I have this great content, it's socially conscious, and I think it'd be great on your platform, and try to catch their viewers. You know, I think that's kind of like the best thing for people that haven't really groomed their audience over the years to do it. You have great content, find somebody that has the numbers. And in this digital space, you don't have to go to NBC and ABC for it. You can go to a .com, to a blogger, or to somebody that has daily posts and say, hey, I'm gonna give you one of these episodes a week, and you run it. Okay? And then get somebody to tweet about it. Get young people that are very active in social media to retweet and to support your project like that. I think that's the best way to like really, get a head start on the audience.
1, 2, 3. We got one right here. Can we give our friend a round of applause for running the mic?
Hi, my name is Sterling RG, recently graduated from high school. My questions are for Mr. Binkley. I was wondering, you were saying how you just made $1 million off of YouTube. So I was wondering, what's your plan to scale your brand or your company? Do you see yourself possibly making $1 billion exit, kind of like YouTube?
Good question. As a black business, you're always, especially in this world of scale and stuff, you're always kind of at a disadvantage when you're talking about advertisers and the numbers that you can bring as opposed to a big conglomerate. So I always think about, how can my company fit into an interactive one or somebody else that has a bigger scale for it. But at the same time, I'm very sensitive to the fact that these companies like Johnson Publishing and Bob Johnson have sold off to bigger companies like Viacom, and they're really getting a lot of the minority targeted dollars, and it's not really going to corporations that are as minority diverse as they should be. So it's a battle, it's an internal battle all the time. Do I jump into the big fish bowl with the big boys and get a corporate partner and become a part of something bigger that I'm not wholly owning, or do I just keep on doing this myself? And for me, I don't want to cut off the opportunities that. Let me go back to the title of this thing. It bothered me a little bit. It's risk takers, money.
It can't bother you.
Dream maker.
Remember the title.
No, all right. So the dream makers is kind of like the last thing in it for me, because I think you take the risk, you make the money, and then I've been able to make other journalists' dreams come true. I put college sophomores on Emmy's red carpet, and if you come out here and you intern for CNN or Entertainment Tonight, you'll be 41 before they get you on the carpet. No offense to anybody that's 41, but you know what I mean. So I don't want to cut off that spigot of where I could take young people and give them opportunities. And I feel like once I become part of a bigger company, then I won't have as much control to be able to do that. So that's that part. As far as scaling, I'm trying to find bigger platforms for my audiences also. I'm moving to different things. I have a show, shameless plug, that's launching on Netflix on August 15th. The animated show is my first. That's kind of like my scaling. I'm trying to just do other things and kind of trying to find people to fill in the one-man show role that I did for a lot of times.
I'm sorry, real quick. How old are you?
18.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and close out.
Hello everyone, my name is Martine King, actually Kelly with Impact Media. My question is, we talked a lot about diversifying content on the outside through platforms like YouTube and different things of that nature. But my question is, do you guys have any suggestions on how we can diversify media and technology companies on the inside through, having more representative, staff and people of color? Because I believe, to answer her question, I think that that's really what's needed in order, for us to have access and to be, accurately reflected through our content.
I'll take that one. People hire people they know. So I think that it is just tremendously important for big partners like Google to open their doors to our communities, but it's equally important for us to show up and show up putting our best foot forward and our best selves to take advantage of the opportunities. In Los Angeles, there are so many technology events going on. If you just look on Meetup, any night of the week, there is a technology-oriented event for women, for programmers, for content creators, for mobile, for virtual reality. I mean, you name it. So you've got to get out there and show up and start to meet people, because as they say, you know, half the battle is showing up. So just you have to get in a room and start to meet folks who are doing some of the stuff. So that's on the soft side. And then I think on the kind of more structured side, there are organizations to join that I think will be particularly helpful. I think Digital LA has a large footprint, love them or hate them. I think that it's very worthwhile to get involved, and not just going to the events, but to volunteer. So my team, we're a technology company that is almost all black and brown people. That's kind of unheard of in Silicon Beach. So I make my team go out and volunteer everything, because we're going to have a presence, and they're going to see a Latina registration signing people up for the virtual reality tour. They're going to see a black dude that is bringing, meeting the female CEOs for the female entrepreneur panel. So we have to be part of that community so that people start to get to know us.
I think there's another side to it as well.